And so Bhagavatam says, Yam hi prakriti shukshma maya shaktir duratyaya. That Lakshmi, the internal potency who has manifested this body and mind for devotional service, she is also simultaneously the external potency, the Maya Shakti. You see, so because of our wrong attitude, therefore, manaksastan indriyani prakritistani karshati. Therefore, now we are struggling with the mind and the senses. Therefore, now this is Maya, mind and senses. All these problems we're struggling with. Problem of existence in the material world. But there is an original pure intention to this creation. And that is expressed in another 6th canto, chapter 19, verse. Tasya adishvara shakshat tvameva purusha para tvam sarvam jagyam ideyam kriya palabhugbhavam. That this manifestation of Paramatma being the Lord of a body and Lakshmi Devi being the body, the bodily energy and the mental energy, this manifestation, why is it? It is for yagya. It is for sacrifice. So, in this sacrifice, then Lakshmi Ji, she is the ijayam. Ijayam means she is the offering of worship. And the kriya means ija and kriya means the activity of sacrifice. This is Lakshmi. And the Lord, He is palabhug, He is the enjoyer of that. You see? So this is just another manifestation of the transcendental loving exchange between the Lord and His consort. And so this pure relationship can be realized by us if we take up this program of yagya, of sacrifice. And then we can understand the real nature of this, to use that word again, anunya. This three-cornered, triangular relationship of ourself as living entity, the Lord as the Ishvara, and the energy, His energy, Prakriti. So, this requires, yes, purification, but the sacrifice itself is the method of purification. So, on the issue of mental torment, yes, we have a verse from the 11th canto. This is again Krishna speaking to Uddhava. He says, just as an improperly treated disease recurs and gives repeated distress to the patient, the mind that is not completely purified of its perverted tendencies will remain attached to material things and repeatedly torment the imperfect yogi. So this is the mental torment or mental conflict. That we have taken up this process of devotional sacrifice, but the mind has not become entirely free of this propensity to think, I am the enjoyer and this energy is mine. And so what is the root of this? So we find in another verse in Bhagavatam, very nicely explained, 5th canto. There's the expression Anonya Vairaha. So again, Anonya, relationship, but Vairaha means envy. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest. The auspicious path in life, which is this path of yajna. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires. And all his plans are made for this purpose. So due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. And he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know that what he's doing is bringing suffering. Yes, so the root problem then is envy. Envy of the living entity for the Lord's position. And on the other side, because raga dvesha, you see they go together. Raga means attraction and dvesha means envy. So these are two sides to the same thing. So on the one side there's envy of the Lord, on the other side there's raga, there's a lustful attraction for the Lord's energy. And so and in fact it is the energy that punishes us for this. The Lord remains, He's just neutral. Dhanavir Maharaj was speaking this morning on this point. How the Lord is equal to everyone. And even to those who are envious of Him. You heard him say, Maharaj say, that it's Indra who wants to interfere with someone, say in the forest, who's doing mystic yoga. Then Indra thinks, I have to stop him. The Supreme Lord never does that. Well, He might come and kill a demon, but that's at the request of others. But for Himself, He's reserved, He's neutral. But it's the Lord's energy. Lakshmi, she has this other side. Durga. And she takes action. She thinks this rascal, because she's devotee, she's the first devotee. She's the leader of all devotees. And she thinks this rascal, who's meant to serve the Lord, defies Him. Well, then she takes action. And she bewilders us. You see, so this is how it comes that we accept a material mind and a material body, and how we accept these material sense objects, because we are bewildered by the Lord's energy. Now there is an original purpose for mind, body, sense objects, which is pure and can only be known in Krishna consciousness. But when we give up this consciousness, then we think, you see, then we become covered, and we think this mind is mine or myself. But this mind, which covers us, is a material energy. Just like the body and just like the senses and sense objects. And as such, being material, being this material face of the Lord's potency, the only purpose of this is to give us trouble. And we will continue to be given trouble as long as we maintain this envy of the Lord in our heart. So then what to do? Then we have to understand again, what is the Lord's actual purpose? What is the original purpose for this manifestation of body, mind, sense objects? So, there are two, we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there are two divisions of the Lord's pastimes. One is the Paramartika pastimes. Now the word Paramartika means purely transcendental, beyond material conception, achintya, beyond the power of conception, avan manasa gochara, beyond the mind, beyond the senses. These are the Lord's leelas in the spiritual world. So, yes, that is beyond us right now. But there is a leela in which we are actually in contact with now. Now, in the behavior, the vyavahar behavior, that word is used. Sadhura vyavahar, the vyavahar behavior of a devotee. This is how you know who has a pure heart. See, so you can be very confident if you see someone, you see, with a bidi in their mouth or a chillum, this for smoking hashish, and his shakti by his side, and at the same time he's carrying one of these called ektar, one string type of instrument, plucking that and chanting Hari Bol. You can be quite sure that this person does not have a pure heart. There are so many of these fellows in India. But this is not sadhura vyavahar. This is just a form of sense gratification, a very abominable form of sense gratification, because it's going on in the name of Krishna consciousness. Yes. So, the Lord has manifested this creation according to a certain plan. This is His Vyavahar Lila. And we have our Vyavahar Dharma, which is perfectly harmonious with that Lila. So if we show the Lord, we can show Him in terms of this Lila that we are His sincere servants. then that is our qualification for achieving the Paramartika Lila. And in this age, you see what is most wonderful. By Lord Chaitanya's mercy, the Vyavahar Lila is the same as the Paramartika Lila. Because in the spiritual world, the essential expression of love of Krishna is the chanting of his glories. We have a verse in here from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes how every morning the gopis rose together, they got up and they joined together, joining hands, and all together, and the word is again is used, anonya, all together in a group with joined hands, the gopis began to chant the glories of Krishna. And this is the essential expression of their love for Krishna. So in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radha and Krishna, he comes. He's the same Radha and Krishna who together have formed the union of Paramatma, mind, body, sense objects. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing us what to do now in this body. Chant Hare Krishna. And this chanting is the essential expression of love in the Paramartha pastimes. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to award those who chant with Prema Bhakti. So this wonderful opportunity is made manifest to the whole world in the Kali Yuga. In the other ages it was hidden. It was very, very confidential. In the other ages there is more of a difference between the Vyavahar Dharma and the Paramartika Lila. You see, in other ages, Satyuga, Vishnu Dhyan, meditate on Vishnu in the heart. Next stage performs yagyas. Next stage do deity worship. You see, so there's more of a remove. It's each, deity worship is pretty close. That's pretty good. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, deity worship alone only brings you to Vaikuntha. But actually we should aim for Goloka. So this chanting does that. Chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is why Kali Yuga, as seemingly bad as it is the best. It's praised in the Shastra as the best of the four ages. You see, because on the one side this is about all that we can do. Human beings are in this age, very unqualified. But they can still sing and dance. And that they're doing anyway in all the nightclubs and rock concerts. So sing and dance for Krishna. And if you just do that, then you immediately you've positioned yourself in a confidential relationship by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Nam Sankirtan is giving the most pleasure to the Lord, more than any other manifestation of Dharma in other ages. So it is powerfully purifying and works with powerful rapidity. So this is what we should do. This is the Dharma, Sankirtan Dharma for this age. Alright, so I hope my purpose was to make clear this question of our relationship to Krishna in terms of our present situation in this body. And on the other side, our relationship to the mind and the sense objects. So just to summarize, there need not be a conflict in that relationship. We need to understand simply that this manifestation is a particular Leela of the Lord. And in this Leela there is a very excellent service opportunity for us. And especially in this age, if we take up that service opportunity, then this is the way to achieve in just one step the Paramartha, the transcendental position. Mm-hmm. I hope I was able to make that clear. So, we have a couple minutes for any questions you might have.
Člověk se modlí ke Krišnovi a prosí ho, aby zbavil ateistické mentality a získal jako upřímnost a vážnost v daný služby, jestli je to jako touha té duše, nebo jestli je to jenom mysl zklamaná tím materialistickým životem. To je podé.
If one prays to Krishna to rid him of a materialistic mentality and to be sincere service attitude, is it the desire of the soul or is it just a frustration of the mind with the material existence?
When you pray to Krishna, that is the proper position. Now, our prayer, that's another question. The quality of our prayer, that may be better or worse. But the most important thing is to go to Krishna. So even a materialistic person, he has material desires he wants satisfied. Bhagavatam says, go to the Lord. His prayer may not be as pure as a pure devotee, but he's in the right relationship. Akama savakamo va moksha kamo daradi tibrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. You may be akam, free of all lusty desire, or sarvakam, full, the heart may be full of desire. Or you may be mokshakam. And that's something like what you're saying. Mokshakam means one is very frustrated and wants to get free. So that's another kind of desire. But Bhagavatam says in any case, Tibrena Bhakti Yogena, you take up Bhakti Yoga, Yajeta Purusham Param, and you go before the Parama Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you, Yajeta, you make your worship to Him. And doing that is purifying. You see, there is no instruction that, oh, so your prayer is not up to the standard of the pure devotees. Your desire is not absolutely pure, so don't go before the Lord. Never, never. You're not allowed. So you can go before some demigod. There's never any such injunction.
Neexistuje takový pokyn, že ty nemáš dostatečný standard, jako co se týče tvých tužeb a tvých modlitev, tak s tím radši nechod za Pánem a běž za nějakým polobohem. To nikde takový pokyn nejde.
As far as going before demigods, Bhagavatam says there is also a proper form of demigod worship, and that's when the demigod is understood to be part and parcel of the Lord. So even demigod worship, properly understood, means going before the Lord. But you don't need to go to demigods at all. You just go there. Because all the demigods are there anyway. Because the Lord is there. All the names of the demigods are just names of Krishna. Shiva means auspicious. Who's more auspicious than Lord Krishna? Indra means king. Therefore Krishna is called Mahendra, the greatest of all the kings. Above the Indras, there is Mahendra, one Mahendra. So in this way, just go to Krishna. And your process of purification, reformation will start. And then furthermore about prayer, Srila Prabhupada said, best thing, because the acharyas have already offered all possible prayers. So you select a prayer from the acharyas or from the shastra that expresses your desire, and then your prayer will be pure. The problem is if you make up your own prayer, but you don't have to do that. See, if you make up your own prayer, then your desires may interfere. But if you select a prayer that best expresses what you want, and you recite that before the Lord, then it's perfect. Then that is pure devotional service, because you're following in the footsteps of the authorities. Someone asked Srila Prabhupada that I am so disturbed by sex desire. What shall I do? And Prabhupada said, go before Krishna and pray to him. He's the most expert in sex. Meaning that, our obsession with sex is on a very primitive and distorted, perverted platform. But Krishna's pastimes, that's the pure and absolute and unlimited manifestation of sexuality. Another time, a question was raised that Krishna's pastimes, they seem to be lusty. And Prabhupada said, yes, God is lusty. But being God, He is unlimitedly lusty. So, we have troubles with lust, but it's not unlimited lust. And we think, someone who's lusty thinks they would like to be unlimited lusty, but that's not possible. So for unlimited lust, go to Krishna. And the unlimited lust is pure. That's what's so wonderful. That's the original desire.
To je původní touha,
the original love.
původní láska.
All right, so it's after 12. We will stop here and continue. Tomorrow we will begin we were talking about this Vyavahara Lila. This is very, very interesting. The Purusha manifestation, these Vishnu expansions, and their relationship with the material energy, and what that has to do with us, and what that has to do with our own psychology.
Si už pozdě budeme pokračovat zítra, bude zajímavé s tím, jak jsme se zmínili o závách Vyavahara, tak budeme mluvit o těch 3 expanzích Višnua a o jejich vztahu s tou přírodou a co to má dočinění s námi a s naším postavem.
I assure you, this is a real eye-opener, and you don't want to miss it. It may make for you many mysterious things in the Shastra, suddenly very clear. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Suhotra Swami.